All right, so we're looking at this question here. It says, from the information provided below, compute the holding period yield for the portfolio using the distribution approach. So the holding period yield just tells you how much your investment has grown. All right, so we've got information here for different investments. There's investment A, number of shares, 100 shares. We have the beginning price and we have the ending price. So we've got three investments. These are making a portfolio. All right, so we need to calculate the holding period yield for a portfolio. Remember, a portfolio is just a group of investments. Okay, so we use this table here. We've got our investment A, our investment B, and our investment C. Number of shares for investment A, 100. Number of shares for investment B, 200. Number of shares for investment C, 500. Okay, so we have our beginning market prices. This is how much the share was, probably at the beginning of the year. Okay, and we have our ending market prices, 12 kwacha, 21 kwacha, 33 kwacha. All right, so we need to calculate our holding period yield for this portfolio. Okay, it's going to basically tell us how much our portfolio has grown. So, first things first, we need to calculate our beginning market price. We're just going to multiply the number of shares by the beginning price, okay, so that we get our market value of our shares. So, number of shares 100 times 10, the market value of the shares 1000 kwacha. 200 shares times 20 kwacha per share, 4000 kwacha. 500 shares times 30 kwacha. So these are the market values of our shares. We get the total market value. So we just add up 1000 plus 4000 plus 15,000. We get 20,000. Okay, that's how the beginning market value of our shares. Next, we have to find the ending market value. All right, so we're going to now multiply the number of shares by the ending price. All right, so we have 100 shares. The price of the shares increased from 10 kwacha, now they're 12 kwacha. So the ending market value of the shares, 1,200. For investment B, we have 200 shares. They were initially going at 20 kwacha, now they're going at 21 kwacha. So the ending market value is 4,200. And then for investment C, we had 500 shares multiplied by the ending market price, 16,500. So we calculate the total market value for our shares. 1,200 plus 4,200 plus 16,500. That's the ending market value for our shares. Now, remember here the main thing that I want to do is want to calculate the holding period yield for our portfolio. So with this process here that we're going to do, first we're going to calculate the holding period return and the holding period yields for each individual investment. All right. So if you remember the formula for the holding period return, HPR, it is the ending value of the investment how much the investment is worth at the end divided by the beginning value of the investment. All right. So for investment A, to get our holding period return, the ending value 1,200 of our investment divided by the beginning value, which is 1,000 here. So our holding period return is 1.2. This tells us our investment has grown by 1.2 times its original value. Okay. By from 1,000 kwacha, the beginning market value, to 1,200, this represents the growth of 1.2 times. And this can also be represented in percentage format. Okay, remember the holding period yield is just the holding period return minus 1. Okay, so to get our holding period yield, you're going to say the holding period return 1.2 minus the holding period yield 1, and you get 0.2. This 0.2 just represents 20%. So again, our investment has grown by 20%. This 1.2 times also represents a 20%, which is showing the increment from 1,000, the beginning market value, to 1,200. Okay, so HPR and HPY are telling the same thing. It is just that they are, how can I say, they're represented differently. All right, so now we have to get our market weight. So out of this 20,000, okay, what is the proportion for this 1,000 here? Okay, the total market value at the beginning was 20,000. So investment A, how much does it account for? Okay, so basically, we're going to say 1,000, the beginning market value, minus 20,000, the total market value. So out of this 20,000, 5% is represented from investment A. Okay, the market weights, you're just getting proportions for each investment in the from the total value. So our total market value for our investments, we're focusing on the beginning market value. Okay, the total value for investments was 20,000. Out of this 20,000, 5% represents investment A. Then again, out of this 20,000, one find out how much is, oh, we'll come to investment B later. We'll come to that later. Yeah, so what the market weight, all right? Then now we can get our weighted holding period yield. It just shows us how much each investment in the portfolio adds to the total return. Okay. So to get our weighted HPY, just multiplying the holding period yield 0.2 multiplied by the market weight 0.5, which we're going to get 0.01. We come to investment B and find out what is the holding period return. All right, so remember holding period return, the ending market value 4,200 divided by the beginning market value 4,000. Our holding period return is 1.05. So investment B has grown by 1.05 times its original value. Okay, this increment from 4,000 to 4,200 shows an increment by 1.05 times. This can also be represented in a percentage format as the holding period yield, right? So remember, you just get your holding period yield, so holding period return minus 1. So investment B has grown by 5%. Next, we need to get the market weight. Out of our total, the total value of our investment B, what percentage is it representing? So you're going to say 4,000 divided by 20,000. Investment B is representing 20%. From this 20,000, 20% is relating to investment B. Then we get the weighted HPY, holding period 0.05 times 0.2, you get 0.01. Move to investment C. We get our holding period return, which is the ending value, this 16,500, divided by the beginning value, 15,001.1. So our investment has grown by 1.1 times its original value. From 15,000 to 16,500, that represents a increment of 1.1 times. We can represent this as a percentage through the holding period yield. Holding period yield is the holding period return, 1.1 minus 1. So basically, our investment has grown by 10%. From 15,000 to 16,500, that's a 10% increment. Then, out of the total value of our investments, what proportion is represented by investment C? So I'm going to say 15,000 divided by 20,000. You get 0.75. So basically, colleagues, out of this 20,000, 75% represents investment C, 20% represents investment A, and 5% represents investment. 20% represents investment B, 5% represents investment A. So we get our weighted HPY. So it's a holding period yield multiplied by the market weights. We're going to get 0.075. All right. So we get our weighted holding period yield. Okay. This is basically the overall growth of our investment, of our portfolio, I mean. So 0.01 plus 0.01 plus 0.075, we get 0.095. So what this is telling us, colleagues, is our investment has grown, our portfolio basically has grown by 9.5%. Okay? It has grown by 9.5%. 1% of the growth is attributed to investment A. Another 1% is attributed to investment B. Then 7.5% is attributed to investment C. So we can see investment C has helped the overall growth of our portfolio. Yes.